Okay, at this point, you can't even ignore it. Everybody is saying Apex is dead, and when you look at the player numbers, they are the lowest they have been in nearly a whole year, so I decided to take a closer look and see what's going on, and honestly, what I discovered actually makes a lot of sense. And I asked a lot of people why they personally aren't playing Apex Legends, and a lot responded, so let's go over this. But one of the main things I have seen as a reason people aren't playing is just because there's so many other games to play in a minute. Like, Fortnite just had the biggest update ever, dare I say. They got racing, they got Lego, they got just about everything. They got Peter Griffin. We don't have Peter Griffin. And because of this, Fortnite is hitting peak players of all time almost every single week. And believe it or not, a lot of people are saying they are moving on to Fortnite just to mess around with it because it seems really cool and the new season is pretty engaging, which I personally can't disagree with. And at the same time as this, the finals just released, which is pretty much competition to Apex Legends because at the end of the day, it's almost a battle royale with classes and kind of bits of abilities, and quite a few Apex YouTubers have made a lot of content on this and it's done really well. So a lot of Apex players have also gone to try the finals, and also Warzone got a new season, which is competition for Apex. So some of the biggest competition for Apex have all got major updates, and I'm honestly pretty confident in saying this has massively affected the player numbers because honestly, these new updates and games do feel a lot more fresh in Apex. Like, what other game can I do this in? And hey, guess what? This happens every single year because usually at this back end of the year, which we are at, there are a lot of new game releases like the new Call of Duty, and Apex never really has major updates within this time, which I suspect is deliberate so they don't clash with the new Call of Duty release and put effort into something they're not going to be properly repaid for. This happened last year. The stats are exactly the same. There's a huge drop off in the late end of the year, and then it pops up with the season that starts in February. We'll get back to that though, but obviously player counts aren't everything. There is just a general feel to Apex right now that it is a bit stale. This was also a big reply to my tweet. The game feels a bit stale, and a lot of people were recommending images like this to be added to Apex Legends, which is actually a really cool idea, but honestly, I don't think we have the players for this. When you try to queue an LTM after a week of it being out, it's usually like a 5-minute queue time to get into a single match. So honestly, this would fragment the player base so much that it would be really hard to queue into literally any sort of match. I kind of think you have to earn this status and earn this ability to have so many modes, almost like Fortnite does. But honestly, I think all this competition is really good for Apex because at the end of the day, the more competition they have, the more they have to like try to get people to play their game over other games. And honestly, we are seeing a lot of crazy changes that Respawn are testing, like collabs. We have never had a proper collab before until this season when we get 2. And I'm personally finding the perk system they're introducing where you can earn weekly perks very, very interesting. So it is nice to see Respawn experimenting, and it is honestly paying off because I have never seen as much hype for an event as I saw when the Final Fantasy event got announced. But obviously, we can't blame every single problem of Apex on Fortnite is doing well, this is doing well, this is doing well. There's obviously issues within Apex. A lot of people are getting mad at new updates, like where you have to do mini games to rank up, or it just feels like you're getting stomped 24/7 by Sweat. And honestly, I do feel like Apex could bring one thing back to majorly improve the game, and how many people actually want to play the game, because somebody did ask, how do you think you could improve Apex? And this may be a bit controversial, but I had a few opinions, and I think one would genuinely hugely benefit the game. My first idea was in-game leaderboards and more EA-supported tournaments, and honestly, I think one of these may happen, because when somebody recommended doing actual tournaments in-game to the Apex Legends Reddit account, they said, yo, okay, give us some recommendations then. So they clearly are interested in this type of thing. One controversial thing, dare I say, that I recommended is that you scrap Mixtape and make Baby Titanfall 2 as a new playlist within Apex, where you port Titanfall 2 maps and Titanfall 2 movement and Titanfall 2 modes into Apex Legends. So you've kind of just got Titanfall within Apex and you can merge these fan bases. That will probably go down pretty badly, but in the end I think it would be pretty cool. But obviously this is a lot of work. That's kind of just a dream thing. I also think to keep people playing the game, copying Fortnite in this respect would be pretty clever. Adding recolors of legendary battle pass skins to the very end of the battle pass, like tier 120 or something. So imagine you get this skin at tier 25, and then at tier 120, if you really grind the game, you can get this skin on top as well. Not much effort for Respawn, but pretty high payout because people obviously really want to grind this. Also, honestly, I think this one might be pretty controversial as well, but I said publicly discontinue development of Kings Canyon, World's Edge, and Broken Moon. I won't dwell on that one too long. Rework Lifeline, and honestly, my favorite idea out of this, kind of egged on by Simply Ashton, copying the Season 1 challenges and adding them welcome to the game, because if you remember from my hardest badges tier list, Season 1 had a load of challenges which were just ridiculously hard. Challenges like get 20 wins on each legend to earn this badge and stuff like that. Just stupidly hard badges that take place over a whole season that are a huge grind, but obviously after the season ends, you're that guy with that really hard badge. I think this will benefit Apex a lot, because at the end of the day, giving badges away isn't going to affect your bottom line. No one's going to go, oh, I've got this badge, so I'm not going to buy this skin. People are going to grind for these, spend longer on your game, probably make the game a bit more sweaty, but also at the same time, players will actually have something to log on and grind for. I think this would be a good idea. Maybe Respawn have their reasons for not adding this, but I think that would be a really good implementation to the game. But hey, none of that's ever going to get added. So when is Apex ever going to pop off again? Or will it ever pop off again? Well, our next update's actually pretty soon, if you kind of realize that the Respawn offices are going to go off for Christmas. The next update is going to be January the 9th, and it is going to be the Final Fantasy update. I say update because still, we don't know what it's going to be. It just says event. We don't know if this is an heirloom. We don't really know anything, but we know it's going to be a big update. And if they kind of go crazy with the marketing, I feel like this could majorly bump up the players, but that is not the focus, because honestly, I think Season 20 is going to be one of the biggest seasons of all time. And I'm kind of saying this, I sound like I'm paid by EA. I don't think they really like me. I'm not paid by EA. But after seeing like what they're teasing, it seems there is going to be a city map next season, which everyone's kind of probably going to go crazy for unless they do something drastically wrong. But my main reason I think everything's going to like pop off again next season is because it's that anniversary event. And these seasons always kind of go absolutely crazy, because at the end of the day, Respawn give away a lot of free stuff most of the time. In the last anniversary event, we actually got a fair amount of free event packs in the tracker, which was really nice to see. And also, if we look at exactly a year ago on the Apex player count, it was really low. And with the anniversary season, the player count absolutely skyrocketed to numbers that we have not seen in months. So if Respawn kind of successfully do this well, it will be a really big season. But I think this also depends a lot on marketing, because I do kind of distinctly remember last year, they were hyping up Season 16 like crazy, and they paid a lot to do a lot of ads everywhere for it. Also, mixtape did come this season, which definitely got a lot of people hyped. So hopefully during this season as well, Respawn kind of has one of those surprises that they pulled out and everyone goes, yo, I've got to log on to play this. I would kind of like to see more updates to mixtape, because it's coming on a year since we've seen any updates to mixtape. So it'll be really cool maybe if they refresh the modes and give us a new set of modes. So like remove TDM, gun run, and give us like capture the flag and maybe like true free for all or something. I'd love to see something like that, but honestly, we don't really know. All I know is I have quite a lot of faith that Respawn are going to pull these player numbers back. But yes, they are low. Apex is dying, but honestly, I don't think it's going to die. The numbers are just going down, so it kind of like fits into the label, oh, Apex is dying, dead game. But mainly, it seems to be a mix of every game that Respawn has competition with has updated its game within the last month, which has just heavily affected Apex, and it sucks. I'm not even playing Apex in a minute. I'm going crazy on a Red Dead 2 save. And I know this was kind of a ramble, but this happens every single year. At the back end of the year, people do say Apex is dying. I've made videos about this, so I just thought I'd kind of like ramble over it. A bit of a unique type of video. I don't really do these. So what are your thoughts about Apex dying? And subscribe.